All right, we're live. April 26, 2022, fourth floor of the Nakatomi Towers. Dutch Chattahoochee and myself, we're trying to regain our composure.
Our composure has been lost for like the past hour and a half.
This is similar to the Gator, but it's actually a different track. I'm going to turn our headphones down and turn that bump music up while I get my composure back.
Eat a donut, drink a cup of coffee.
Good Lord. Buddy. Bud. Always good to see you. How's your headphones there? That feel good?
Good. I can hear it.
All right.
Hear good.
Down we go.
Hear good and dandy.
Just fade it right down there.
Gosh, not. I was going to say...
a little bit of bump music. Get that turned off.
My headphones are nice and purty.
Yeah, it's 11:35, so we're starting an hour and a half late. We got the leadership of the Seguin River Monsters waiting on us for a phone call that can't happen because now they're big businessmen. They're in the middle of another phone call right now.
Probably.
I just want to say to people, like, I don't even know where to start. I'm not going to rant on it. We'll get into baseball, but I mean, OBS.
Okay,
audition, so OBS audition computers, like, just don't even, like, I like now when I see, like, if I see like a 13-year-old kid like live streaming a video game, like if I was at the admission board at MIT or Harvard, I just let him in because he's a genius. Like, he figured it out.
I'm gonna email that dude, but hey, ask your parents if we can hire you for like 5 minutes to set up our stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Because I feel like every time we get it working, when we go to do it live, it doesn't work. Like in the test phases, we're golden, dude.
It's
like,
insane.
You know?
So I'll just give not that anybody cares, but I'm going to do a short synopsis of where we're at. So we've been trying to live stream for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month.
It's been about 2 weeks.
This
weeks.
is the fourth time because we had it the first time, and the next two times it was like black screen, and then this time we have a proper cable. We actually got it, and then we were streaming on YouTube, but when we did that killed the soundboard, and I'm smart because I unplugged the headphones or the mics instead of the speakers, and we couldn't figure out how to get the sound from the mics into Audition, into OBS.
It's not possible.
Anyway, I digress. To all our handful of listeners, we're talking roadmap. I got Dutch Chattahoochee and his flying chonkless gears. You're looking sharp, bud.
And I got the matching hat. Woo!
Where's your composure at right now? Like,
so if 1 being I'm completely relaxed and composed, and 10 being like I'm irate, I would say I'm about a 13.
You're a 13. I mean,
so I came in here. I woke up an hour early. I had breakfast. I had a soda pop. I was feeling good.
It's a big day for us.
I come in here and this shit happened, and I got so angry I got hungry.
It's unbelievable.
I was like, God damn it. You know?
I will say in our travels this morning through the interwebs, trying to figure this out by reading other people solving problems or whatever, I read something on Reddit about a kid who was like trying to do what we were doing, except he wanted to stream himself playing video games. And in his Reddit, he described how he threw like his console through his wall.
Well, that's not going to happen.
And I get it though. I get it. So
I wanted to go outside, punch the first person I saw. Like, fuck you, and fuck you what you stand for.
It shouldn't be this hard, should it? Anyway, so
you know what? So next week, the way I look at it, we're just gonna have to like do a non-live video, like record our video and sync up the audio. Because at this point, I think that's what we're bound.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't know if you want to like leave the camera here, like I could just like keep messing with it over and over on the time that I have until I could figure it out, because I don't have a camera that actually works with OBS, so that's one option. But it's a nightmare, man. It's unbelievable. But roadmap. Seguin River Monsters, official media partners with Dutch Chattahoochee.
We've made it.
T-Texas Tony Turnstile.
We've made it as a we're at this point we're a company. We're a production company, but so
and so the leadership out there is Mike Gigliotti if I'm saying his name right, because he said it once at our meeting, and I believe the second G is silent, and then his general manager, Scott Berry. And to us, that's Mr. Gigliotti and Mr. Berry, sir.
There's also Candace. I think that's his wife.
Could be.
She's president of operations.
Oh, and I get all my footwear at Vogue Shoes in Seguin on Main Street. If you want somebody to treat you right and get some excellent footwear, that's the place you go. But here's what Seguin River Monsters are.
Well, it's not just the shoes, it's the customer service, right?
It's an awesome place.
They're cool dudes, if you ask me.
They're awesome. And
now when I say dudes, I don't mean just men. I mean like everyone.
They got everything.
Yeah, like no, I'm saying like when I say they got cool dudes, I mean like women and men.
Yeah.
Not just trying to single out anybody, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's a class establishment, and the Texas Collegiate League been around for a while, and the teams are moving, and then you get people like Mr. G, as I'm going to call him, taking the time and effort to put a team in Seguin. Not an easy undertaking. Takes a lot of sponsors, takes a lot of phone calls, takes a lot of emails, takes a lot of coordination. You got to get the field, you got to get that coordinated, but then you need a couple Wild Things, Mitch Wild Thing Williams like ourselves, to bring some media maybe. And I'm going to do everything I can to push the Seguin River Monsters.
Definitely going to be wearing some gear. So when I go around, like, oh, who's the River Monsters? I'm like, glad you asked. I'll give them the link to their website. I'll show them where to go. Like, oh, just like get to the ballpark.
I did mention this. This is going to be one of those ask for forgiveness. Like, I don't know if the management's going to agree with me, but I'm going to get some custom-made Seguin River Monster Speedos, and then I'm just, after every home win, I'm going to jump into the Guadalupe River, cannonball style.
I will think of something, but I won't share it with the audience because it's a secret.
Okay.
They'll have to wait to find out. But I feel like what we can bring is we can bring excitement, and we'll do these crazy things that people want to come to the game for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to see Dutch. I want to see Turnstile do some crazy shit. Well, we'll do that.
Good deal.
Which may or may not be safe sometimes, but
I'm going to text them to see if they're up and running, because they are big businessmen. So we're going to do that. We're going to talk some UTSA Texas State matchup. They're playing tonight in San Antonio. So this is like we played at your place, you come to our place. The last game, which I'll talk a little bit about, was insane. It was so wild, 14-12. Yeah. But the box score, if I can find it, UTSA put up 7 runs in the 9th. Almost came back to win it. You want to talk about an exploding bullpen. You got a huge lead, and you're ready to just slam the door on somebody, and they're like, oh, they got scored a run. Okay, we still got a huge lead. They scored 2. Still got the lead. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're like, this is going to get away from us. Someone's going to hit a 3-run dinger, and we're going to lose. But that one came down to the wire. So that'll be a good matchup. And then we can talk. I also want to give a shout-out to Runners Rising. Runners Rising is kind of a not-for-profit that is helping us, like UTSA student athletes, get linked up with name, image, likeness contracts, and
which they deserve.
Which they deserve. They should be paid in. And I do have some contract templates, but they're like actors, because like you need to be able to have like the rights to reproduce and use theirs. So they're a little bit specific. And trying to reverse engineer such a contract was kind of difficult, and I reached out to Runners Rising. So shout out to Eddie Benningfield and Caleb Hopkins, helped me out, and now we have NIL contracts, so we can track down Mostef Malone and potentially his battery mate, Slammin' Sammy Diaz, and get those dudes to talk about baseball. And basically, remember when I was talking about like mind reach? You get just like mind meld with somebody where it's like, I know what Dutch Chattahoochee's thinking. He doesn't have to say anything.
I just look at you.
That's
respond,
right.
And you're like, yeah. I'm like, I didn't say anything.
That's that pitcher-catcher relationship. So I think that would be a really interesting interview. You know, throw some money at him, like kind of like a dirty booster for SMU in the 80s. They used to give dudes Trans Ams and stuff.
Dude, SMU was bad.
Right?
But now it's technically legal.
It's all cleaned up. Yeah, if I was like a huge booster and I was like, here's a Trans Am. And they're like, well, that's kind of like a really old car that doesn't run well. That's not even cool in 2022. I was like, here's still a Trans Am.
Fix it up. But no, it's good because like these athletes bring like money into the school, and it's like, why can't I have some of the wealth?
Yeah. There's some big NIL contracts going for millions right now.
Especially in football. Football is like pretty wild.
Yeah, football's the one where the boosters were doing all the shady stuff in the 80s, but I just want to still give out Trans Ams.
With athletes getting paid now, and like, I think it's going to be not a matter of like education anymore. It's going to be like, what school can give me the most money?
Like, it would make sense for like Nike or like EA Sports that do those like the college football and basketball games. Like, college baseball gets no respect, but like those dudes are on a national stage. I mean, that guy's a superstar. You know, it's going to go in the NBA draft next year or something like that. That's kind of like worth the money.
I think that people that you said college baseball don't get no respect. Like, if people ever watched the College World Series and saw that amazing like Nebraska field and all that, I think they'd be more into it. You know? Because I always hate when people's like, I only watch baseball in playoffs. I'm like, why? Watch it during the regular season. There's a lot that goes on. That's like interesting. Like, I was watching the Old Miss game the other day, and those unis are sweet. Those powder blue.
Yeah, they do got some good ones. They're working back in some of the powder blue. They're realizing how classy that looks.
I love it because it's got just the Old Miss on it. And I was like, you know what? I like this baseball team. I was watching it at work, right? I was on lunch, and nobody was in the break room but me. So I turned on college baseball. Somebody walked in and changed it. I was like, hey, I was watching that. Like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, I don't want to watch basketball. I'm watching baseball right now.
ESPN Plus is where I found the UTSA Texas State game, and it's a subscription service, but they had tons of college baseball in there, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think that would be worth it because I did cancel the Adult Rec League package I had on Amazon.
Isn't it like $200 or something? It's a lot.
The old MLB package?
Like,
it was like 100 or something. I don't know what it was.
Extra innings, right, is what it's called, something like that?
Yeah. But I'd rather have ESPN Plus and just watch college baseball. So UTSA.
College baseball is like really awesome.
Roadrunners, Texas State. We'll feature that matchup. Look at the last game. Look at some of those players. And then we'll kind of go down the Seguin River Monsters roster. Talk a little bit about that. And then we could talk.
Oh, and how the Seguin River Monsters are going to win the Texas League?
Texas Collegiate League, probably. I
can see them winning the whole thing.
Success with that kind of class organization is undeniable.
Well,
it's just a matter of time. Is it this season or next season?
When you have a class organization, people will want to come play for your team because, like, you know what? They treat everybody with respect over there. Okay. I want to go play there. You know what I mean?
We might be able to get the general manager of the River Monsters on, Mr. Scott Berry. We'll see. Yeah, okay. We'll give him a little text there. But if you want to start rabbit holing on your feelings on Angel Hernandez, excellent strike zone, we can get into that in the Robo Ump, because I will cap in that segment before we get to college baseball and the TCL.
So here's my thing with Angel Hernandez.
With a great rant, that's how I'll cap in that one.
Apparently, I don't know if this was true, but I heard someone say that he was like, I'm with the union, so I can keep my job, so like I can do whatever I want. Something I was like, because if you think about it, like there was like this ball that was thrown way outside the strike zone. Like, you don't even have to know baseball to see like, okay, that's not in the strike zone. That's a clear ball. He's like, strike.
He's
and like, I don't know if he's got bad eyes or if he just doesn't give a shit. But it was a really bad, like, it was so high that you could see that the catcher had to extend his arm with the glove to actually catch it, right? So that's
yeah.
And they were like, strike.
He is notoriously, for years, and I think he actually sued MLB, right?
He did. He said something about discrimination because he goes, I haven't umpired in a World Series game in a while. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
He and it's sad because the fact that you can't fire that guy because of the union, and I'm not really going to get into a political conversation on pro-union or anti-union, but I think the fact that you have somebody at the highest level of the sport who is essentially not doing a good job and they are unfireable is a sign of sickness of your sport.
Well, he said that like the reason he sued was race discrimination.
Right. So I mean, whatever it was, you got the union, you got this protection, and
I'm like, dude, you've been in 3 World Series, I think, umpiring. What do you mean discrimination?
Yeah, I mean you got an umpire who, and I don't want to start trash talking because I'm probably going to get into it, but I'm really going to rip MLB more. The fact that you have a guy calling games at this level that can't do his job, that's affecting the game, and is an embarrassment, and it's a national embarrassment because people are watching it, players are watching it, and here's what you saw a lot with Angel, right? You'd see him just like calling these horrible strikes, and then like
on purpose, I swear.
Yeah, and then the dude steps out of the box and just kind of like looks off in the distance. Is like, I'm not going to say anything because it's Angel, and it's just it's like accepted. I mean, Schwarber lost his mind in the Philly game because it's like it just gets to a boiling point where it's like, dude, you just keep doing it. Like it doesn't matter, and we're all just supposed to accept the fact that you don't care about your job.
Even the coach of the Phillies were like, he's like, what are you doing? He's like, you've got to be better than this. Like, this is unacceptable.
Yeah.
Because it's like even in moments where the game's close, he's costing teams the game without giving them a chance. You know?
Yeah, it's an embarrassment, and he's done things in Joe West's out of the league. Now, apparently, Joe West is trying to get in on our game and take some market share away from 3BGB with his own podcast. But whatever. I mean, that's MLB for you. You got ghost runners now. You've taken away the pitchers hitting with the universal DH, and now Angel's doing his thing for the whole world to see.
When Kyle Schwarber went off, dude, he was pissed. He was like, "What the fuck is this, Angel? What in the fuck?" And he had his hands animated. He was just like, man. And Angel just stood there and was like, "You're out of here. You're ejected." Like,
yeah, he doesn't care. He's literally
because he knows that he can say and do whatever he wants, and he has a job.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
So I forgot what state. I think it was ESPN or Fox. Somebody was like, just put that dude at third base because technically he has a job still.
I mean, you got college coach, you got little league umpires who are like trying to do a good job. They may not be that good, but they care. Angel Hernandez does not care.
But the fact that like MLB still puts him in as a home plate umpire is ridiculous.
He knows it's like a ball. He's going to call it a strike. He does not care. So, and then what do you do when you got that? So now you have a guy who can't do his job at the highest level, and so the solution gets teased. Robo Umps. Let's do Robo Umps, which
no,
I would rank it tied for worst with taking away pitchers hitting in the National League as far as and knowing Major League Baseball, they're going to do it, Dutch. They're going to do it, aren't they?
Of course, because people are going to bitch about the missed calls on balls and strikes.
Yeah.
But I think when that happens, they're going to like assume. They're going to like look back and say, oh, we should have never did this change. Because those robots are going to be too accurate.
Exactly.
And they're not going to know the difference of like, because like some hitters, they get a little leeway, right?
Yeah.
And with that, it won't be. It'll be too precise.
It'll be so precise, and you'll lose something just like
human error.
Yeah, human error and perfection. Because that was like the whole thing with my argument on pitchers hitting. They're like, well, they suck at hitting. I was like, I know they suck at hitting. That's part of the beauty, the imperfection and the failure. So, I mean, I'm saying you can have bad calls in baseball, and you should have bad calls in baseball because then you don't have the Earl Weavers out there.
I wish Earl Weaver was still managing. Could you imagine him with Angel Hernandez?
Yeah, you don't have that sort of awesomeness. I wish we could play the audio of it, but you're trying to fuck us. He's like screaming at umpires. You're not going to have that anymore because you completely sterilize the game. I'm okay with bad calls if the umpires are like consistently, they care, and it's like a meritocracy where you're bringing the dudes up from minors whose like data shows they have a good strike zone.
Because then people that are for their robots are going to be like, well, look at Angel Hernandez. Well, that's different. That's someone who doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
The other missed calls and strikes by other umpires are just accidental.
Yeah.
Because the ball's moving so fast, there's a lot going on. It's just like,
there's a lot going. It's a hard job. Bang plays. Dudes, the guy in Detroit or whatever blew the perfect game because the guy was out at first and he missed the call. And he knows he missed the call.
It'll be real funny.
Yeah.
This will never happen. But so, like, have the umpire in front of the batter off to the side so you can see the ball coming in and see exactly where it goes. I know that's really dangerous, but that'd be awesome.
I put nothing past Major League Baseball because what it will take is just like that horrible PI, that horrible pass interference. I mean, what they're probably going to do is give some challenges. I really hope you don't do challenges on the strike zone. But, I just don't think, but they'll probably will do something because the NFL's like, okay, well, we don't want every call messed with. We still want it, but you can challenge it if it's really huge in the game.
Because in the NFL, like every play is being watched. Like I think there's like a whole crew in New York where they watch every single play.
Yeah.
So technically, every play is reviewed. It's stupid.
It's at some point it's too much. I wouldn't put it past Major League Baseball. Here's what I envisioned when you said that. So they're going to dig a huge hole in the infield right between the pitcher's mound and the
home plate. So
right?
you're kind of on the same page as I am.
So there's like a little hole down there, like a little room, and then you're going to cover it up with like artificial grass and turf, except there's going to be a tiny little like one-way, like a cop, two-way glass, one-way glass window, except it's going to be painted green. You're going to have an umpire just sitting down there with his eyes looking at the catcher to see if it crosses the plate. MLB does that in 10 years.
It'll be like a submarine.
Yeah.
They'll have that little tube sticking out just enough to see,
so
they can see straight on, like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, what's that little stick coming out of the ground? Well, that's the umpire. The MLB thought that was a good idea.
Because that way they can see from the point of view of the pitcher, so they can see a lot better if it's a strike or a ball.
The adult rec.
But even then they'll be like, oh, that's a ball.
Yeah, I need Mo Stuff Malone and
I also feel like
Slam and Sammy to
if
go.
they allow challenges, fucking managers will start challenging stupid ass calls. Middle of the second inning has nothing to do with the game. I want to challenge that strike.
Yeah, it's a clown show, and that's why all the great college athletes that we're going to be covering should go to the Chunichi Dragons. They have 2 cool minor league.
So skip MLB, just go to other leagues like Japan.
Just go to Japan. It's the Premier
I'd go to
League
Mexico
now.
too, probably.
Oh yes, absolutely. Our Cetereros and Ceteperos.
Yeah.
That's my rabbit hole. Let me get the rabbit hole out of the way, and then we'll get to the River Monsters and UTSA. Do we have any more on Robo Umps? I mean, I have hours on it, but it's just anger.
Well, I also wanted to talk about the whole thing that happened with Cleveland and New York.
Oh, give me that, bud.
How they started throwing bottles of beer and soda and whatever else at the. It was in New York.
What happened? I missed it. Yeah.
Well, apparently, I don't know what happened. If there was a bad call, I don't know exactly.
That was an ump.
But then these outfielders, like the fans that were in the outfield, started throwing like bottles on the field at the Cleveland guy in the outfield.
Oh,
forgot which one it was.
I did see something on that.
So then one of the guys climbed up the wall and was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah. I did heckle Brady Anderson in the Kingdom one time, and Brady Anderson went from like 16 homers to 50 homers, and I was sure he was using steroids.
Do you remember Mike Sweeney?
I do.
Well,
let me finish this one though.
Okay, I'll follow you up.
So I was like, you suck, Anderson, and he like turned around like in the middle of the game and just like looked way up to the upper deck, and I was like, oh yeah, they're real people too, and the Kingdom is a ghost town, so you can basically hear everybody's like you could hear what everybody's saying, and I was like, I kind of shut up as soon as he looked at me. He's like, why is this kid yelling at me that I suck? When clearly Brady Anderson did not suck. He had a great season. If he juiced for the 1 year, so was everybody else. But so like the fact that player is going to go up to the stands and be like, what are you doing, bro? Makes sense to me. All right, sorry, bud.
So I was going to say, being from Dallas, we used to go to the Rangers games all the time. And I can't remember if Mike Sweeney was on the Kansas City Royals or the Oakland A's at the time, but he was playing outfield. And we were just sitting on the outfield, like center field somewhere over there, and we're like, hey, Sweeney, don't drop the ball. If you drop the ball, it's all your fault. The team's going to lose. They're going to blame it on you. We were just saying stupid shit that's not offensive. And remember De Jesus?
Yeah.
We always call him De Jesus.
Yep.
And so he'd be out in the outfield, we're like, De Jesus, the savior of baseball. We love you. Just funny stuff. There's nothing offensive.
Somehow you're going to get
it was great.
In trouble for the politically correct people with the "did Jesus" thing.
He would sometimes look back at us and just smirk, like laugh. We're like, did Jesus, the savior of baseball?
I'm sure I've heard of it, but somehow I'm saying that a Latino group or Hispanic group is going to get super pissed at you for that one. But
I mean, I don't think so. Then again, that was like 2007, 2008.
We got to clean up. We got to be on the level, maybe. But no, I get it. That when you heckle, they hear it. I mean, I've been heckled many a time. I wasn't that good. I screwed up all kinds of here, and I was like, man, these people are ragging me. It does get to you after a while. Here's another random one.
Even if it's just fun stuff.
Yeah. This is so random, if this is the way I remember it, but I was pretty hammered. So, also, Mike G's from upstate New York, and we were talking upstate New York summer baseball, so I played for the Schenectady Mohawks. And
what a team.
They were awesome. And I want to say we were in Hornell or something. And so I'm playing right, and I'm like skinny string bean or whatever, and there's these two dudes at folding chairs right outside, or maybe it was left field, and they're ragging me like the whole game. There's like, dude, you need to eat some protein. You need some weight gainer. What's up, string bean? Like, it was kind of hilarious, but it was like 9 innings of it. It was relentless. These dudes were just ripping the shit out of me. And I was like, man, those fucking assholes. And then I realized after the game, they're like, yeah, those were like the two dudes on the team that got ejected and were suspended for a game. And I was like pissed. Like after 9 innings, I was like ready. I was like, I'm going to just throw blows. Fast forward like a month later, I'm visiting a buddy at the University of Washington because he was there for 1 year. Actually, our one caller, Steve Jacobson, and we're at some party with his frat. I think he was in a
legendary caller.
He was like in a frat for like 1 year at some UW. Anyway, I'm at this party, and I'm wandering into some room just drinking with strange University of Washington people I don't really know other than Jake. A couple other people from my high school were there. And this dude we were talking about baseball. He's like, oh, you played in upstate New York? He's like, oh, you played in Hornell? He's like, oh, were you in that game where you're just getting ripped on? And I was like, yeah. By some crazy fan? I was like, yeah. He was like, dude, that was me. I was so drunk. I was just like, is this guy messing with me now? How would he know about that? Should I just knock his block off right now? And he explained the whole thing to me, but that was like the most random thing ever. But yeah.
Yeah, there's like this guy on the missions. His name is Brandon Dixon. I believe he's the first base. And we went to the game 2 weeks ago, and my friend and I were just like saying funny stuff to him. Like, all right, Dixon, go Alabama, go Jaguars. We were just saying all this stuff about the South because he has that Dixon name. Like,
oh, man.
Like, let's go, Dixon.
Shout out to Chris Dixon, greatest running back in Washington State high school football history. And who is it? Oh, Texas State's playing South Alabama. That's who they're playing. My alma mater, South Alabama.
We were saying that Brandon Dixon was he probably didn't even go there. We're like, do it for Southern Alabama. Go Jaguars.
Probably from Massachusetts or something.
We're like, go Southern Alabama. Go Jaguars. Brandon Dixon.
So there it is.
Oh, yeah. He was born in California.
There you go.
Nowhere near the South, but he has a Southern name. Brandon Dixon.
Is Dixon South? I don't know what. I feel like Dixon might be Irish or something. I'm not sure.
No, it's French Canadian.
It's French Canadian. Boulangerie or something.
Brandon Dixon. I don't know.
But what were we saying? So Robo Umps are going to come because the adult rec league doesn't really care about the game. It's all about whatever.
Unless somehow we can manage to become MLB commissioner with no experience.
Not that I'm watching MLB ever again, probably until the DH gets lost in the National League. But if you do go to Robo Umps, which you're probably gonna, because that's how they think,
there will be some form of it. Yes.
Please put in like a 1950s Jetson like looking robot. You know,
like house cleaner.
Yeah, like a house cleaning kind of tin can robot right behind the catcher. So like when you foul it off, it makes a huge clang. Like, because it'll be like a tiny little smart, like, camera computerized robot. I was like, no, dude, put a robot out there. Like, you know, that little Honda robot that jumps around? Put that out there.
Does it have a voice or no?
Maybe you could program a different
voice.
Dude,
it's got to have, if it looks like a 50s robot, it has like a 50 baseball announcer.
You could pay $50,000 for it to have your voice for a game. You can you record your strikeouts. Ha!
Yeah, you gotta have if he has voices, he has an old school baseball announcer voice. There's someone else. That's a strike. That's a ball. That's the ball game. 3-1.
That's a great idea.
The Boston Blue Sox versus a Massachusetts Greenfish.
So please, Adult Rec League, when you institute the Robo Umps here in 3 or 5 years,
if I could keep that voice up, I'll announce in that voice.
Yeah, I love it.
Number 17, Brandon Dixon from California. He's straight for 2 a year. Anyway.
So good. What else? The the one rabbit hole I have, and I can probably keep it to 5 minutes, is the flea market.
Well, probably isn't exactly
Probably not.
true.
But you let me know when you want to take this pit bull off the leash on the flea market.
I'm probably gonna do this, but who knows? But yeah, go ahead.
Have you been to Trader's Village?
When I was younger, yeah, I used to go to one all the time in Dallas.
I was not really like a flea market dude. I think maybe when I was like really little, my folks took me to some. We were like trying to get like an RC car. I don't know, but I haven't been to a flea market in a while. And Elle was like, so they're stocking Miller's Pond, which is right over there off Old Pearsall Road, kind of like South San Antonio. Put a bunch of catfish in there. So we're going to go catch some dinner, right? 2 hours, nothing's biting. I was like, all right, well, let's head out. It's like, well, let's check out this massive flea market. They got this big sign that says world's biggest flea market or whatever, you know? And so I go in there, and my mind is blown. It is so enormous. It is, and here's the other thing about it. The flea market, to me, is what America should be. There are dudes with like rolling coolers just walking around drinking Natty Light and Natty Ice, shopping for like luchador masks, leather boots, and ironworks.
They'll find anything, man. Just put a little oil and shine it up, brand. It's like new.
Dude, there's a petting zoo in there.
Yeah,
and it's like better than like fair petting zoos. They have flipping llamas and pigs and chickens and goats and this is in the flea market.
There's a really kick-ass documentary somewhere in there.
And
like, we got to make one.
And there's like all these rides for the kids. Guess how much that costs?
Free.
$12. You can ride them all, essentially. They got comic book stores and they got anime stores. There's like a lot of antique-y stuff, but then there's tons of stuff from Mexico. We went off the deep end with all this metalwork stuff. I have like a metal cactus now. There's so much crazy shit.
As my dad would say, sign me up.
Dude, if you go in there with a couple hundred, I don't think you can spend it all. You're just going to be drinking Frescas and Raspas the whole day, walking around shopping your ass off.
You know what's underrated?
Oh, and if you want the sports stuff, you get all the hats and jerseys. It's like everything.
You know what's underrated about flea markets is the copycats of the main national brands.
Yeah,
like you get your fake Nikes and your fake. But you know what, dude? When I was younger, I actually bought a pair from there, and dude, they look and feel like a real shoe.
Everything looked awesome.
So who gives a fuck if it's fake or not? You know what I'm saying?
Like Premier League. They had these like pro-looking cleats. Dude, if you want a dune buggy, you could flip and get it in there. They were selling like four-wheelers and dune buggies, and it was insane.
Flea markets are like Amazon. You can find anything in there.
It was unbelievable. And there was a guy there selling baseball stuff. I could get like helmets and bats. They had wood bats.
We need to go one day together.
I was looking for baseball cards, but I actually saw some football cards. But he had wood bats and jerseys too. They had catcher's gear.
We gotta go.
Fucking everything. It was crazy. I don't know. Traders Village Flea Market is like the best family time. Like maybe just like anybody time. It's the best time for everybody. It's what America was meant to be. There's no rules. There's no barcodes. Paying cash. I'm sure some people have like Cash App and Venmo, but I mean, you just go. And once you're inside that gate, I guess bust the Natty Light out of your cooler and start shopping. Because nobody's going to say anything.
If someone's like looking for something, right? Say you have a friend, it's like, man, I've been looking for a nice pair of pants to work. Flea market.
Yeah.
I've been looking for. I need a little thing for my car. Like my door is a little tight. I need to kind of loosen up.
Yeah. I mean, if you think you're going to roll around North Star Mall drinking Natty Lights, shopping for that kind of...
Oh, you need a new radio for your car?
Rock bottom prices. Yeah, I'm not sure how much of that stuff could be stolen in some of those shops.
Who cares? Once you have it, it's yours.
At that point, it's just a bargain. But
you can't go to North Star drink Natty Lights.
Oh, I'll leave it there. But I will say the one last thing. I was like, dude, they had some insanely huge, like stainless steel ropes, like Cuban link chains. And I got the thickest rope for like $45. I'm going to have to sport it. If we could ever figure out live streams, I got to wear that. It's so hard.
Did I tell you that I bought a gold chain Pokemon chain? It has like one of the Pokemon on there. I forgot which one.
Yeah.
And it's like gold plated with diamonds and shit.
It's amazing.
It's obviously fake, but it's badass. I'll rock it once we get our video
you gotta rock
working.
it. They also had a really amazing selection. There's a couple furniture shops in there.
I also saw on Facebook, I keep getting this ad for like these... They're MLB team logos, but they're like diamond out and shit, gold plated.
That's
They're like
nice.
they're probably fake, but they look really cool. I thought about getting a Tampa Bay one. Possibly.
I don't know if you could get like the grill in the teeth. I only say that because I've been watching some Alex Bregman videos on YouTube. He's got a really good channel, and he hangs around with Paul Wall, the rapper.
The guy, he's from Houston, I think.
Yeah,
right?
they're Houston, so they're like linked up and now they're buddies. They always hang out.
What was the other guy from Houston or somewhere?
There was Chameleonaire.
No, there was Riff Raff.
Oh, yeah, Riff Raff's
That guy.
legendary. His stuff is greatness. Riff Raff. All right, I'll leave it there. We can go and just accept that Angel Hernandez is going to ump until he's about 85.
They're not gonna fire him
Ever. Nope.
The only way he'll get fired is if the union are like, yeah, we're done with you. That'd be the only way.
I don't know how they do it.
Because technically, the union, their job is to keep you
He's going to sleep
in
with
employment, right?
Sleep with the umpire union president's wife is maybe the only chance we have to get a good strike zone.
So, like, they do put him in another position that he still has a job, so they can't. I would do something. I'd put him in a spot where he doesn't want to be, and like he can get fired. He'll quit because he hates it. I'm like, hey, go see to the left field. Go all the way to the foul pole. You're the left foul pole umpire. Like, what do you mean? That's not even a real position. Well, you're the first. The left field foul pole watcher umpire.
I like where your head's at. That's such a good idea.
Make him quit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, just like because the MLB Rules Committee is doing meth and ice, and they're coming up with all kinds of rules. They say, look, the padding on the right field foul side has to be at least 2.5 inches worth of soft foam padding, and we have to have an umpire continuously check that foam padding during the game, and then that's Angel's job.
He's got to make sure he's like a safety person.
Yeah, he's just out there with a little ruler.
They're supposed to be 2 inches. This is a 1 in 75 inches. We need a little bit more padding in here.
And that's just
and if
game.
If the grounds crew, who's ever in charge of the wall, says, "Oh, we don't have it right now. It'll take a couple days to get more foam." Right? You know what he says to him? Like, "Oh, we can't fix it right now, Angel. We're sorry." He's like, "You're out of here." He just starts throwing people out.
He would probably do that even if I had him checking foam.
Like a fan goes up to him, "Sir, where's the restrooms?" "You're out of here. Strike." Like, what the fuck, Angel? Ask where the bathroom was. Why you throwing me out of the game? Yeah. You want to keep arguing? You see this? Like, okay. I just asked where the restroom was, buddy. I don't need to get thrown out of the game.
I just throwing his wife out of the bedroom.
That's like his thing. Just, you're out of here.
Just throwing his kids out of breakfast.
You see this? You see this? Okay, Angel. Everything's like, why do you got to throw everything out? That's like his signature move. You're out of here.
That's what his son's like. Can I get some Lucky Charms? Get out of their kitchen.
You want to argue with me? They're like, Dad, you're not at work right now. You respect the blue.
You can't hang out with him because he just throws you. You try to have a beer with the guy.
Yeah. He just randomly starts saying balls and strikes. Hey, Angel, can I have another Natty Light? Ball. What does that mean? Okay.
Oh, man, there needs to be some kind of psychological analysis on these guys.
Especially this guy. See on Twitter that I was supporting him? Because everybody else was hating on him, so I just want to do something funny.
Just went the other way. And that's what I love about you, buddy.
Why not?
Contrarian. Give him some support. He's going to see that and think it's real. He's going to be like...
the thing, like, there's a guy, I forgot his name, but he works for Fox Sports.
Yeah.
And his thing was, he's a really cool guy. I think his name is Nick something.
Okay.
And so, everybody is like, Michael Jordan's the best. So he was like, well, no one has really been saying that LeBron is better. So I'll say that because no one's over here.
Yeah, so get that part of the market.
And he's a really smart guy. He's like, that's smart because now you started something because no one else was saying that before you.
Yeah.
But
that's
why I thought about that with the Angel thing. Like, you know what? Everybody's hating on him. I want to go the opposite and be like, no, he's great. He's a legend.
Yeah.
No one's going to respond to me because I clearly know I'm probably joking around.
Oh, my goodness. That's so good. The transition into college ball. Do you dealer's choice? Do you want to talk some UTSA, Texas State, or you want to go down the Seguin River Monsters hole? I haven't heard back from the great Scott Berry, the general manager.
We saved the best for last.
The best for last. Okay.
So Seguin River Monsters
will be last.
That way we can kind of...
And who's our musical guest that we're
a band called Scooped Up.
That sounds awesome. You're so good with the music.
And
buddy.
I texted the Instagram page last night. I was like, hey, man, my friend and I do a baseball and punk podcast. Would you care if we use your songs? Like, we're only gonna use them for like 30, 45 seconds. Is that cool? He's like, go ahead.
That's awesome. You actually are in touch.
I got, yeah. They were like, yeah, it's cool, dude. Go for it.
That's like I heard from somebody who's a somebody on the longest home run project, and I don't want to tip my hand because it's not a sealed deal, but dingers, world record dingers may be getting hit in Colorado in August, but I can't tip until we get some more stuff lined up. But but like when you talk to the people that are like somebody that you know, maybe one day there'll be like some kid in the parking lot who goes, "Are you Anthony Turnstile?" I'll be like, "Oh my God, somebody recognized me." That's kind of cool. But I don't think that'll happen, and that's not what I'm in it for. I'm in it to promote baseball.
I was telling people at work about it, the project that could be happening possibly, and they're like, "Oh, that sounds cool." I'm like, "Okay." They don't seem too enthused about it or stoked. But then, like, whenever, like, okay, so not just this podcast and what we're doing with the baseball stuff, but just in general, like, you have a career you're going for, you're really excited, you tell people, and like, "Oh, that's cool," they don't really care. Then all of a sudden you, like, get successful with it, and they're like, "Whoa, why didn't you tell me?" Dude, for the past 2 years I've been telling you, and you just haven't really paid attention to what I've been saying.
Here's the crazy thing about the longest home run project, if we actually pull it off. So, like, if you go to a ballpark or you kind of sit behind home plate and a dude gets into one and hits a regular dinger, that's pretty awesome. You're like, oh, man, he hit that over the scoreboard. It just looks cool going, like, traveling out. I think it's going to be crazy if you get some huge dudes up there jacking the balls like 600 plus, what that's just going to look like traveling off the bat off into the distance. It's like going to go up into town and like start hitting stuff.
It's so cool.
It's going to be amazing.
You're going to hear car alarms going off and shit.
Oh, my gosh. So anyway, let's tease the longest home run project. We got Scooped Up coming thanks to Dutch Chattahoochee, the legend.
They're from Connecticut, by the way.
Oh, cool.
So they're East Coast.
Connecticut.
So they're a little East Coast band.
You know who's from Connecticut, I think?
Not me.
George Springer. I think
the Astros player?
Yeah, he's now with the Jays.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I think he went to University of Connecticut.
That Jays lineup is...
Jays are good, man.
It's an amazing lineup.
Jays are good stuff. Those Canadians up there.
You got Bo, whatever Bo his last name.
Bo Bichette. I love Dante Bichette. I thought that dude was so awesome.
Yeah, Bo's cool, man. So that lineup, just looking at it on paper, is like, yeah, this team's not going to lose. But
I'm probably remembering this wrong, but I just remember a Dante, if I could find it, it's a Dante Bichette, Ramon Martinez at bat, and this was like, Pedro's older brother, and it was the year when Ramon Martinez was kind of filthy, or at least maybe it was like beginning of the season, he was coming off a really good year, and just like Pedro wasn't that big of a dude, he threw really hard. Ramon was kind of the same way. He was a skinny dude, but man, he just can really rush it up there, and the at bat, the way I remember it was like, and Bichette kind of had like a short, snappy stroke with huge forearms, and it's just fastball after fastball, and Bichette was fouling them straight back. And let me tell you, if you're fouling the ball straight back, like not off to the side, you're kind of on it. Like you're just like, it's a matter of you lining it up, and you're going to absolutely crush it. And sure enough, another fastball, instead of fouling it straight back for like the 9th time, Bichette got all of it, and it went gonzo to center. I don't know why I remember that at bat, but I was just like watching him. It wasn't like he was fouling him to the side. He fouled like 3 or 4 straight back. I was like, man, you might want to work in a slider because he's going to get on that. Sure enough, he did. All right. UTSA, Mostef Malone, and the Big Nasty Serdashny.
So when you were talking about Blue Jays, and I was trying to remember this pitcher that I used to love, Ricky Romero.
Ricky Romero?
Remember him?
Yeah, I remember.
Because I was like, I used to like watching that guy play, and I couldn't remember his name just now. I was like, what the fuck? And so I had to look it up because I was like, yeah, that dude was a beast. And I was like, whatever happened to that guy? But
yeah, you got Pat Hallmark out there doing some good stuff with the Roadrunners, and it's a huge game tonight. I don't know if the weather's going to hold up. I hope it does. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sneak away and get out there tonight. But you got on the mound tonight, because they're not – Malone is the ace, so he's pitching Fridays. But you got Ryan Ward, I believe, is a starter for the Roadrunners tonight. And I can't remember. I think it might have been, if I'm looking at the 14-12 game, I think the starting pitcher was also Ward for UTSA. So running out the same starter, didn't do that bad. A couple base on balls there. Well, I'm not sure actually who was the starter in the game up at San Marcos, but it was a wild one, and UTSA kind of jumped out on them, and then had a bad fourth, and then things fell apart there in the ninth. I remember turning it back in the ninth inning and was watching UTSA like run up the score. I was like, they're gonna do this. They're gonna come back. But some crazy box scores. If we look at the and this was April 19th, so this is essentially just last week. You got Post, it's DH. He's 3 for 4 with 2 runs. Slamming Sammy Diaz, 2 for 5. Flores, 1 for 5.
Garrett Poston went 3 for 4.
Yeah, Nasty Serdashny was 3 for 3. Then you got dudes with like 6 at bats in here. Leighton Berry's 3 for 6. Matt King, 2 for. And I want to make sure I understand who's the starting shortstop out there, because Matt King, and then there was Darcy too, and I'm not sure who made the awesome play in the hole in the game I watched, but I thought it was Darcy.
So
Cody Darcy.
Mad props to Garrett Poston, 3 for 4 that game.
Posting. I'll run through their stats here in a second, but I'm just kind of looking at the lines of that wild game when you start getting like 5-6 at bats. But yeah, Chase King with 3 bibbies. But then on the other side of the thing, you had Jose Gonzalez and left went 3 for 4 with 2 runs and 5 bibbies. Yeah, wild game. Gonzalez with the home run. Big Shuff Dalton, 2 for 5. I wonder where Dalton's going in the draft. Honestly, he's a shortstop, which is kind of crazy. He's got power and
I think Ian Bailey's going to be a stud too in the pros.
I like Ian Bailey a lot. Dude's got 10 dingers. Let's look at the stats here. What did Bailey do in this game here? Bailey was 2 for 6 with a bibby. That's just Pat Hallmark doing good things, finding a home for a graduate transfer right there.
Ian Bailey has the most home runs on the team. So
look at Bailey. He's got 38 bibbies, 10 dinglings.
He's hitting good too at 313 for the year too. So
yeah,
he's balling.
We got that, and then Tapia 5 ding-dings. Flores was 6. Chase King, look at the RBIs on Chase King. 42 RBIs, 12 doubles. I mean, that's coming in the clutch. And then, of course, the numbers that I like.
And he's hitting 306, so he's all around doing a lot of good stuff.
And then on base percentage, you got Flores. Flores has a good eye. He is leading the team in walks, because I watched him walk that when they were going off on Stephen F. Austin. You got Poston with 26.
Oh wow! Yeah.
So you got these guys with above 400. Poston's on base is like nearing 500.
I see Flores has 28 walks too, based on balls.
And Serdashny's on base percentage is 479.
So these guys have really good plate discipline.
Yeah, they're not chasing, they're hitting, and like I said, I really like the UTSA arms,
because a lot of these guys are hitting above 300, right? So they clearly not only with plate discipline, but they have a good eye.
Yeah, Schaefer's the closer. He's got 5 saves, but his K to inning ratio is quite high.
Would this be too much of a reach to say that Luke Malone should be the number 1 pitcher taken in the MLB draft?
Oh well, my advice, if I can get him lined up for an interview, is just go to the Nippon League.
Go to Japan.
You'll
be better off.
Sushi's healthy, It'll be a guy.
It's a lot more relaxing.
Everything will be different. You just go out there, hang out with Ichiro, and live that lifestyle. So,
which is crazy that the Japan League is becoming more of an option now for players than it was before. It's like, well, MLB used to be the top dog, but now I don't have to necessarily go there to have a career.
Yeah. But you got some dudes with some good stuff. I like, and Ryan Beard has a high earned run average, but it's some of these pitchers have good stuff, but then if you get too wild, it's the walks. The walks will eat you up. But if you keep the walks down, I mean, and if you look at Malone, I mean, the dude's got 55 innings pitched, 10 base on balls. You know,
he's only given up 47 hits too.
Yeah,
so.
Excellent ratio. So
that's about probably over 1 hit per inning, close to 2 probably.
But you got Ward going tonight. Ryan Ward's going to go tonight.
Oh wow, Luke Malone's only gave up 2 home runs on the year too. So
yeah, Malone
you ain't hitting shit on this guy.
1.78 ERA.
I would be interested to see the one game that he lost. How he
go
did.
back and watch a video and see what happened there.
Yeah, probably just one solid mistake that that happened. Didn't do it on
27 and
purpose.
13. I mean, they're a ranked team, but when you're trying to get to the postseason, and I think I would tell UTSA what the Red Sox told themselves when they finally broke the curse. Why not us? There's no reason the Roadrunners can't be going to Omaha.
All you have to do is get in, right?
Well, there's the postseason has changed since we used to do like the regionals, and now they do like a super regional system. So it's kind of like 2 separated regionals. Like you'll get lined up with another team that's like 2 out of 3, and then you got to go to the regionals or however it works. But back when I was doing it, it was like 8 super regionals or something like that. And then if you won the regional, you got to go to the College World Series. And of course, South Alabama, when I was there, we got sent to LSU, which was essentially a death sentence because LSU was always going to the College World Series.
You play a lot of night games there?
Yeah, the whole thing was in the night. It was like us, Oklahoma, Long Beach State, and LSU.
You got no chance at night.
And we beat LSU the first day and went into the winner's bracket. And I think we beat Oklahoma. Then maybe like Long Beach State got eliminated. And then we came back, and the championship day, LSU had to beat us twice. And they did. They handily
something about the
killed
night
us.
the night games
slaughtered.
there.
It was horrible.
Slaughtered.
But yeah, the college postseasons have been restructured a little bit since my old ass. But that's what I'm saying for the UTSA Roadrunners. Big
like
matchup
I said,
tonight.
All I had to do is just get in, and
Yeah, but that's what it is. Let's take a little look here. I have Texas State stats up, and let's you got Schuff up there, and I mean, you're really if you're the Texas State supporter, and I'm not anti-Texas State. I'm just on the bandwagon with UTSA. I'm committed, but I like these guys' players. Who knows how many of these dudes probably play summer ball together, and I'm not sure who they're starting tonight. But 392.
See, he's got Shuffield's got he has 60 hits at 153 at bats. I mean, he's connecting with the ball quite often.
But Withrich is the home run leader actually. It's 12 dingers up there.
Oh shit. Okay.
32 and 9. So it'll be awesome. Awesome college baseball. Support college baseball. But now we talk to the greatest organization that's ever been, Seguin River Monsters. Seguin River Monsters.
Their inaugural season, their first season.
You got head coach, the legend, Ryan Reyes. And
but
his
he's
assistant, Caleb Morales, I believe. And I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see what happens with these River Monsters. And you're playing at Smokey Joe Williams. Legendary. It's a great field.
But see, Ryan Reyes is a head coach. He's also an assistant at Our Lady of the Lake.
He's at OLU.
So clearly he knows baseball. He's around a great organization. Because Our Lady of the Lake's pretty good, too, at baseball. They're not bad.
So
he knows what he's doing.
We can talk. Jose Gutierrez is kind of a feature. He's been a drafted guy. I'm excited that we just got the catcher from University of Houston. So it's what happened to my thing there? But I'm just going to run down the roster and start talking about some of the stuff. And the website is excellent.
Oh, I think the website is very well put together.
You got the Victoria Generals, and we got and I could look at the standings from last year.
The website's fucking cool because it's not overcrowded. It's pretty sweet. It's so smooth. I was on it last night, looking at stuff, and I will order some merchandise pretty soon.
Got to get the merch.
Yeah, I want to get one of those sick. They have a really cool like snapback hat with like the logo on it. It's really cool.
Get that. Get some shoes from Vogue Shoes.
And they get the baseball tee.
And you're winning.
I also saw at Vogue Shoes you can get. Oh yeah, these I hear the little schedule cards. They got a lot of games at home, so we can definitely check those out in June, July.
So you got Ryan Reyes, Caleb Morales. I think they're both out at Olu. I really want to talk to Caleb Morales because I was looking at him a little bit, and he is a Pecos League veteran. He played in the Pecos League for a few years, and I think he was with Roswell, if I'm not mistaken, if I read it right, because I was looking at Olu's website. But he can tell all about the Pecos League grind. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're playing Pecos League, you are dedicated to the game of baseball. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he plays from Del Rio.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, but Ryan Reyes was, and I don't know where you saw that, but he was drafted by the Indians, you say?
Who?
I'm not Ryan Reyes, but Jacob Gutierrez.
Yeah, he was in 2018. He was drafted by the Cleveland, or I guess at the time they were Indians. Now they're called Guardians.
Oh, those Guardians.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, originally he's from Mexico and then moved to Arlington, so... What's up, Dallas? Hometown.
Right. I think we got colleges on these guys because
went to Dallas Baptist University,
DBU,
as you call it. Well, I guess that's what it's called. But.
Yeah, DBU was like NAI or something. Like we played them. I want to say when I was at Lubbock Christian.
So this guy's going to be a star.
They're all going to be stars. They're Seguin River Monsters.
Well, we're taking the league this year. Their first year to win it. You know what I mean?
Well, it goes from the top down. So you got. Infielders, catchers. Cade Brewer is who just got signed. He's at the University of Houston. So you got to have your two catchers, and then you got we got some dudes from Olu. And I love my computer. I really appreciate that it minimizes everything as I'm looking at it. You got Rylan Quinones, Hill College. He's from San Antonio. Jacob Elizondo, St. Mary's. These are your infielders. Jared Smith, Olu. John Garza, Richland, Jacob Ruiz, Texas A&M Corpus Christi, Richard Gill, University of Houston, Victoria. He's from El Paso. I'd love to talk to him about El Paso. Then you got Jose Gutierrez, Clarendon College, and then you got Francisco Martinez from Olu. Catchers, Victor Jimenez from Arkansas Tech, Cade Brewer from University of Houston. Outfielders, you got Preston Dallmeyer from Stephen F. Austin, Raul Lopez from the University of Houston, Victoria, Matthew Clark from Olu, San Antonio guy. Landon Morrison is from Bradenton, Florida, going to Hillsborough Community College. Be interesting. He's one of these persons traveling. I think Hillsborough's in Oregon. I could be wrong. But David Lopez from Eagle Pass. Quite famous for class action lawsuits.
The catcher, Cade Brewer, that's such a baseball name, too. Cade Brewer.
And then you got, there's your pitching staff, Marshall Durham, righty, San Antonio St. Mary's. You got Austin Mitchell, righty, Harker Heights, Frank Phillips College, which I believe is JUCO. Matthew Johnson from Tampa at Hillsborough.
So here's the thing about that. Since I love the race so much and I love the city of Tampa, I'm just going to say that Matthew Johnson is going to be my favorite pitcher this year.
Matthew Johnson?
Just because he's from Tampa and I love the Rays and I love the city of Tampa because I've been there a few times.
Okay.
I'm going with him. That's my dude.
Old Matt Johnson.
That's my dude. I'm calling it right now.
You got Jade Gordon from Lefty from Alvin, Texas, Arkansas Tech. Dave Wilson from Blinn. So he might have got some ice cream at the Bluebell factory like I did if he went to Blinn.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got Pablo Montante from San Antonio, Texas, Olu. You got Evan Maldonado from Navarro Junior College. He's from Mission, Texas. And then you got a hometown boy, Evan Hendricks from Seguin, Texas, lefty, going to Temple College. And then Caleb Vuono from Louisville, Texas.
That's going to be cool to play
University
in your
of Texas
hometown.
Permian Basin. And I cannot wait to cover these. Dudes. These are freshmen, sophomore, some juniors in here, but young dudes. Because you're really after your senior year, you ain't playing. You're either drafted or you're going, whatever you're doing. So, but the freshman, sophomore, get some reps in. Your coach always wants you to get reps, but I'm trying to see where the Clarendon. He's a sophomore, so got drafted out of high school. But NAI D1, D2. I don't realize. Yeah, I guess St. Mary's is D2. I don't know what they call like. They got the NAIA.
But a lot of these dudes are coming from like baseball schools, right?
They're river monsters now.
They're not chumps, man. All these dudes are studs, man.
And I want to say both Ryan Reyes and Caleb Morales are from Del Rio. So I'm thinking Del Rio's got some good baseball culture, and I'll be interested to talk to those gentlemen about that. Do anything we can do to promote the power of the Seguin River Monsters.
And when we ask questions, we're not going to ask the boring questions either. We're going to be like...
Well, I like to break down it like the mental aspect of these guys.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, tell me about the at-bat.
Like the post-game interview.
Because when one of my favorite at-bats in my career, but like it's a cat and mouse game because it goes back to the at-bat before. Like I remember how that guy threw me, and he actually walked me, but I ripped one foul, and I don't think he wanted to go to that pitch again. And then it came up later, and I guess it's because they liked the righty-lefty matchup. This is like the 15th inning, and they walked the bases loaded because I guess it doesn't matter. I think they were up by 2. They were up by 2, and of course, I took that as insane disrespect. You're going to intentionally walk to get to me? That's what you want to do? You want to pitch to Big Earn? Okay. And this guy kind of had like a 3/4 delivery. He threw pretty hard. I don't know if he was like a 95-plus guy, but he was like an 89, 90 guy with like a weird release, which you hate. And he was filthy. He was kind of like dealing everybody. So I'm fouling off pitch after pitch after pitch, and I'm swinging a lot of stuff out of the zone. Stuff Angel Hernandez would have called a strike, but I'm swinging at stuff like neck high. But I guess like I don't want to strike out with the bases loaded. I just don't want to be the guy who strikes out. But I know it's 3-2. I'm deep in the count. I'm fouling off. He's going to throw me that slider, and I can't miss that slider because it's over. I won't be able to hit it, but I got to be able to foul it off because I know, I'll still be alive. And sure enough, he does. He comes. He throws that. It's kryptonite to left-handed hitters when a righty comes down and in on your shoelaces with that slider just cutting on your back foot.
Yeah.
And I fouled that son of a bitch off, and I fucking knew. I was like, all right, that's the one he wanted to waste because he doesn't think he can throw it for a strike. The next pitch, I know for sure is going to be the fastball. Fucking sitting all over that opposite field grand slam. Fucking
shit.
Partied like a rock star that night. But the mental game I was playing with him on guessing the sequence of the pitch and knowing, that's what I want to talk to these dudes about. The double in that inning, what were you looking for there? And the pitches you foul off. I want to talk about the pitches you're fouling off. I want to talk about why you were cheating, where you were cheating in right field, because that was a great play, but you had a couple extra steps because you thought maybe that guy was going to slice, that breaking ball there. So there's like a lot of nuance to the game that these young kids can tell us about on, why they made the play they made or why they were looking for the pitch they were looking.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of times people just ask questions. How do you feel? Who cares?
How do you feel?
Like
tell me about the game.
It's obvious how you feel. Like
Yeah.
you just won the game. You're stoked. Like talk to us like how you got to that point.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell us how hard you're going to party, but tell us, what
Like we
what
saw
went into
that
the
you
game,
know what the fuck you're doing. So tell us, how do you get there?
So I think we can provide some excellent coverage. I think it might be nice. I was telling Mr. G about we're trying to accumulate some better film equipment so that we can, maybe do some small documentaries, a day in the life of a river monster.
Do some pre-game footage. What goes into getting prepared?
Oh yeah, wouldn't that be sweet if you just live stream BP? That would be like how some people listen to waves?
Yeah,
like that calms them. And they got that NASA channel on YouTube where you can just watch the Earth.
I used to watch. I used to not watch it, but my wife would. It used to be on. I forgot what we had on, but
just put that on in the background.
Well, it's also cool to see like the fun stuff that they're doing.
Yeah,
like the behind the scenes, like just all the fun that happens.
I think that'd be
But
good.
hey, you see this now on video, come to the game and you'll see it there too.
That would be so relaxing for me to just have the batting practice channel. Just
I hope they have a mascot.
The crack of the bat.
If they don't have a mascot, we gotta become the mascots.
I could double duty probably.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Dress up in all fucking Seguin Monsters gear.
If you think about it, especially if I'm going to jump in the Guadalupe after a home win, I'm going to be sweating my ass off if I'm in a mascot outfit. So I'm going to need to take a dip. I mean, I'm jumping the river mainly because I need a bath, but
Right.
But yeah, that would be good. That would be nice.
So what you do after a home win is you, I don't know about you, but for me, I'm gonna shotgun a Natty Light.
There you go. I feel
and
like
then jump in the river with you.
I feel like you seen the movie Caddyshack where he's like, you got a pool over there? He's like, well, I got a pool. I got a pond. A pond might be better for you. That's what you're saying to me. I was like,
after every home win, I shotgun a Natty Light.
You shotgun one while I'm jumping in the river, man. But
we'll do cool excitement stuff.
But I'm excited. Texas Collegiate League been around. They moved around. They had the Chanclas. I know Ryan Flores was playing for the Chanclas at Nelson Wolf. Watched him there, and now you got the River Monsters making it go. And the other aspect,
that's a sweet name though too.
It is good, and I also was telling him, I was like, it might be interesting, at least for posterity, because a lot of what I think we're doing is. It might seem like maybe there's people that aren't into it. I don't know. But they're like, well, that was a silly bit that you did. But I do want to leave rabbit crumbs behind that are just essentially for posterity, like the history of baseball in the area. And I think a behind the scenes on the management on putting together a River Monsters season, you throw that up on YouTube, maybe it only gets like 50 views or some people are like, oh, well, what's the big deal now? 20 years from now, that's going to be like, we all think like Blue Jays cards from like 1981 are fucking cool. That's the kind of thing that's like you go back and look at how it was done and what was going on 20 years ago. It's actually pretty awesome. So I think there's some behind the scenes content on putting together the River Monsters. So anything we can do to support those guys. They're bringing baseball to the community, so
and Seguin's not that far from us either.
And they're geniuses because they partnered with us. Just preeminent underground journalistic talents in Dutch Chattahoochee.
I don't want to say it's the best decisions they've made so far, but it's a great decision.
It is a great decision
because we're baseball dudes. We love baseball, so it's natural.
Baseball fans, and as this morning told us, I'd like to see where we are in a couple of years, Earl, but. I mean, the vertical learning curve is so crushing. But if you can stream the games, we can figure that out. Like, I don't know how many games you have to F it up or how many dry runs you have to F up before you actually figure out the stream. But that should be possible.
What's crazy is we know how to insert video. We know how to edit the video. We know how to do all that. We know how to decode it. It's just setting up the camera.
It's usually connections. It's because you can do the cables, but then within the software, the setting that you have to recognize connections is usually your weakest link.
There's so many, and when you first buy this equipment or you watch videos on it, just plug it in here, plug it in there, turn on your computer, and bam.
Yeah, because it's.
But they don't tell you have to switch the audio settings, the video settings.
That's crazy.
All the small minor details, and you have to click on an option to go into 500 different folders. Hit apply. It's just
tough. It's there was one on there that's like mapping. If there's some sort of smart robot brain, find the connection for me, because you can plug it all in, turn it all on, download all the software, but then you're like, I can't hear anything in my headphones, or I can't see anything on the screen. It's some setting. It's just some setting.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. But Adult Rec League hasn't made me drink. They are going to have Robo umpires. UTSA. Texas State, man. ESPN Plus tonight, or get yourself out to the ballpark, because I like that field. There's some rec soccer fields right next to it.
I thought about going to that.
It's a nice setting. If you can get Miss Raymond out, it's Tuesday's your night off, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I mean, you're the working man with 4 classes and every other thing. Get out to the ballpark.
Because I was debating, because I wanted to go to what do you call it?
I got missions tickets for Wednesday. Oh yeah, I can't ditch class today.
Because if it's gonna rain, I don't want to be driving out there in the rain.
Yeah, today would have been sweet to go out today, because it's basically senior day for Weimar High School, which is awesome. And I really like that article on the baseball culture in Weimar. I I don't know, bud. What's our time? Are we still? We're still cutting audio here. We did it in an hour. Let's see if any River Monsters management's available for call. What technical difficulties we have had. I don't think so. I'm gonna have to line them up. Next.
While you're talking, though, I want to go here and go to these tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Buy tickets. See what's going on here with these. So, here we go. Wednesday, June 1st. It looks like the first game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for the River Monsters.
Yeah, they're playing Baton Rouge.
We open in Victoria. Yeah, Baton Rouge is coming in.
So here's the best thing about this league, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can go watch quality baseball for like $5 a ticket. Like,
yeah.
General admission is $5. That's it, people. $5. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be good baseball, and yeah, I mean it's a crazy schedule for the guys too. Honestly, there's more home games in June, and then you got 5. You got nine home games in July, but you got 5, 9.
I'm going to say this too.
15, you got like 24 home games, but most of them are right there in June. June's going to be a wild month. If we can cover all those games, that would be epic.
So whoever designed the logo did a great job. It's the sickest logo in the whole league, and the website too. Whoever designed the website is awesome. Everything is like so smooth, but the colors are awesome, dude. That blue and green is so sick. Yeah,
and that works because I already got the green blazer.
Yeah, so
already got the green blazer.
I need to get a blazer. I just need to go. I want a red one, but like
you gotta go blazing.
It's not gonna match with this. You know what I'm saying?
You just gotta have a plethora of blazers for any occasion. You know, because there could be like an all-star game. Maybe we cover. Who knows?
If I get a custom-made one that's like navy blue,
red, white, and blue.
If I got like a navy blue one with the Seguin River patch on it,
yeah.
It looks sick.
I'd like to get a nice crimson one too myself. Actually,
red's my favorite one.
Marine Corps patch on it. Semper Fi, go down to the VFW and wear that. I wonder if we should just like mill around Seguin and be like, hey, go to the River Monsters game tonight. Go to the VFW.
We need to go there together.
Just cruise up and down
before the season starts and promote the fuck out of it. But hey, you like baseball? Well, Seguin River Monsters.
You know what we need? Here's an idea. We get the old the Bluesmobile. Get an old cop car. Put that huge speaker on top. And just drive up and down the streets of Seguin. River Monsters game tonight. Rhythm and Blues review.
Get some stickers made or something. We'll get merchandise and just start handing it out and shit. Just, you know what I mean?
That's what we do.
It'll be like one of those things where the whole town is there on game night.
I don't know what else to say about adult rec leagues going. There's good stuff happening in Japan. You want a review of what's going on in Japan, buddy? Before we get to the music?
Sure. You know more about it than I do. I'm not a huge follower of Japan League. I know like a little about it, but if it's not on the news, like as far as baseball news, I won't really know.
Well, here's the best part about it: is the Japan ball guys hook you up, and they'll let you know what's going on all the time.
But like I said, I'm learning slowly more and more each time about Japan League.
Well, here's one thing I'll tell you, and this is, if you're a fan of these teams. If I can find it, here it is. So the Hanshin Tigers. The Hanshin Tigers are somewhat famous. I mean, they're all kind of teams are famous, but that particular organization is famous for having the best fans. Just wild, rabid fan base. And they have absolutely pooped the bed. They're setting records for sucking right now. Let's see if I can find this. I think they lost like.
Don't they have a team too that's modeled after the San Francisco Giants?
Oh my gosh! So check this out. The stat: the Hanshin Tigers became the fastest team in Nippon League to 20 losses on Saturday. They got 20 losses in 25 games. Can you believe that? That's unbelievable. Oh, and Roki Sasaki's perfect streak ended at 17 innings on the first pitch of Sunday's game, and he was deactivated because of fatigue.
Well, yeah, he's going out there and pitching a lot of innings.
Well, I would say this. You still let him pitch the perfect game, So, anyway, yeah.
If that was MLB, they would have took him out after the 7th inning.
Yeah, they would. You don't want the perfect game. Why would you ever want a perfect game,
You know what's weird? So there was the Dodgers were playing again, right? And
Yep.
one of the pitchers, I forgot what pitcher it was. He got to complete a whole game. He only gave up 3 hits, but that's not the point. It's like, you let this motherfucker play a whole 9 innings, but you take this guy out after 7 with a perfect game? Like, what in the fuck? What kind of logic is that?
Well, the Dodgers were always arguing he was coming off injury, which is true, but I'm just saying it's Kershaw, and he's the you know, if Kershaw wanted to take himself out, which he probably wouldn't have, I would have left the decision up to him. A perfect game is a perfect game. That's special. You can't tell me it's not special. He knows how he feels. He's at 80 pitches. You ask him, we want to protect you. You're coming off injury, but you do have a perfect game. What do you want to do? He's like, just let me go. If I see if I can work through this, I'll tell you how I feel good right now. Let him do it. But that sort of judgment was not allowed, and it just became, we have hit a magical number that we basically came up with. Could have been 82, could have been 86, could have, it was 80, and so
These
no.
Tigers are terrible. They're 5-20.
Yeah, the Hanshin Tigers are 5-20. So,
But weren't they like a really good team at one point?
they're pretty good. They're definitely known for their fans. There's a really good article on them, and I forget the name of the journalist because I found it. I was trying to find a journalist to hire in Japan to actually cover some stuff over there for me, and I found this guy, and he wrote this awesome article and took these great photographs of the Hanshin Tigers, but was not to be. But what was to be was us and the Seguin River Monsters. So that's my 2 seconds. Is Roki's streak is broken, and the Hanshin Tigers are absolutely just their heads aren't right. They could be gambling too much on auto races, like the Black Mist scandal. And by the way, I don't know what we did wrong, but our Black Mist scandal was by far our lowest rated. And I feel like when you look at a stock and where it bottoms out, maybe that was our bottom out. That was our bottom out moment. We're just going up from here.
People just don't understand greatness. That's all.
Well, if we could ever figure out a live stream some of this other tech stuff, I think we'd go up from there. But we'll get, we'll definitely get a ton of fun and a ton more people exposed to Seguin River Monsters as well as 3BGV and our flavor. But if we want to get lined up for Scooped Up, we can get it here, and I'll see if. No, I guess we'll do the management next time. We could call Mr. Nakatomi but he could be golfing.
What time is it? 12:51. Yeah, he's probably in his Eggo lunch. He likes Eggos for lunch.
That's true.
He's kind of weird with his eating habits, and but whatever. He's our boss technically, so.
Well, he's our boss's boss, which is so awesome. Did you see him chew out Leonard and Will?
In accounting?
No, down the hall from the execs.
Oh yeah. That was whenever I was coming back from the restroom last time when I was leaving. Yeah.
Because they don't like us at the Cat.
No.
And every time I go up there, I'm always getting side eye, and they want to tell me that me and Dutch, we're doing something wrong. But then Mr. Nakatomi comes in unannounced because he never tells you when he's coming. You don't know when he's going to pop in. He pops in, everybody locks it up, stands at attention, and he just goes up and down, tearing ass.
What they're pissed about is because they've been trying to get a radio show on 97.9 The Cat for years. We come in and we get it right away.
Well, I mean, Mr. Nakatomi can see the talent.
Yeah.
And it was funny, the financial deal that got done with the Seguin River Monsters also almost hit a snafu this morning, and it's along the lines of like a Premier League transfer fee, like if Barcelona's going to sell Messi to Paris Saint-Germain, it's millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And the money is passing through banks in Liechtenstein and Switzerland and Geneva, and there's just honestly the River Monster deal is a miracle that it came to happen because it's been months of negotiating, rooms full of lawyers, the amounts of money I don't even want to talk about to get the deal done.
When we were recording last week, there was at least 30 cars outside, and there's never 30 cars here.
Well, and I'll say this, and now that we're officially in a partnership, the meeting that we had in Malta, which I walked out on, that was not because I didn't love the River Monsters and respect the organization. It was posturing because I knew we probably weren't going to get the deal done. I mean, the amount of zeros we're talking about, and two huge multinational brands. I thought that if I walked out at that moment, it would actually move the deal closer, and maybe I was right because we got the deal done yesterday. And so
they wouldn't let me inside the meeting. They said I'm not important enough. I was like, okay, and I left. So
it all started when you were at Cannes Film Festival and you were hanging out with Spielberg, and then your publicist approached you about, hey, do you guys want to work some stuff in the Texas Collegiate League? And you're like, I'll look at my schedule, but get back to me. Who's the team? And they're like, Seguin River Monsters. And you're like, oh, let me talk to Turnstile.
I don't think that it should be negatively brought on me that I was hanging out with Spielberg, because I want to learn. I was talking to him about film. I don't know why that's a problem. Like, I was just asking him, hey, I want to do this scene. What kind of shots do you think I should do? And that was taken out of context in the wrong way. And now, so hopefully I can get back into Rivers Monsters Saving Grace.
I had to leave Cannes early because I had that thing in Saudi Arabia. But you hung around, and you were probably a couple bottles of Moet in at that party. At that point.
I had at least 8 of them.
But that's what the publicist told me later, and I go, how did it shake out? Like, did we get the green light from Dutch? And he goes, well, I mean, Dutch, but he was like about it, but he goes, who's the team? And then I said, it's the Seguin River Monsters. If we can get a deal done with it, I think it'd be huge for both of us. I was like, all right, call the lawyers. Let's see if we can talk dollars and figure it out. So bank transfers, wires, all happened, and 2 mega brands on board.
I didn't think it'd ever get done, but I guess it took me being not in the room to get it done, because apparently I'm a distraction.
Well,
because apparently I have a drinking problem, and they look down on that, and they don't accept me for who I am. Okay. So I had to leave the room.
First of all, it's not a problem.
I don't think it is, because I was there on time to the meeting, right? And
hey, I'm the one on the outs. You ever try not drinking around Mr. Nakatomi? He gets pissed.
You can't, because it's almost like when somebody offers you some food that they make, you
pulls out some 30-year-old scotch. Mr. Nakatomi wants to go, play 9 holes on the back 9.
I was sober until I met this guy, and that changed real quick.
All right. Well, we're rolling with some. We're starting to rub some shoulders with some pros, is what I'm saying. Mr. Nakatomi, and now we got Mr. Gigliotti.
But we'll always need the cat, though.
Yeah,
we'll never abandon
Mr.
the cat.
Mr. Gigliotti and Mr. Barry. So we definitely have to. If I can get on the same page, we're ready to do some music, buddy.
Okay. I enjoy making the music playlist because it's always cool.
It's always better
because
for me.
because sometimes bands that I play you don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, ooh.
All right, let's get this thing set up for cell phone. The master. Bam. I think we're ready. And
so I have
remember how infuriating it was that I couldn't figure out your phone the other day?
So I have the iPod turned all the way up, so when you turn up the volume on the board right there.
I'm not even fading anymore because I realized we missed the beginning of the song, but I got to turn it way up. I'm actually going to turn the headphones down a little bit.
Okay.
Because it's just like the waveform on Audition doesn't show as high as it should be. Oh, yeah. I think our audio's looking real good, but once we can figure out the live stream, I'm just literally going to just do a backflip. All right, here we go. Bam. Tampa Bay Rays. We got scooped up. First one is this Lame Aid?
Of their first record, yeah.
Okay. This song from Scooped Up. Do you want to get any kind of like intro on the band or the members or any kind of like background?
Well, I found out about them because someone on Facebook posted them.
Okay.
And then I started listening to them because of that. I just went to their YouTube and, they're very responsive as far as like their fans. Like whenever their fans like comment on a video or a picture on Instagram, they respond pretty quickly. So it's pretty cool. They're very hands on. And from what I understand, the singer, his name is Jimmy.
Okay.
And he went to school for video production. Because he makes their videos. The band makes all their videos themselves. So they're self-produced everything. It's fucking sick.
Nice. Scooped Up the band. And you actually corresponded with somebody.
Because they so one of the recent videos
Milford, Connecticut. They got a number of videos.
Yeah.
Up.
One of the videos that they made recently, it literally took a year because the singer wanted to get a shot of each of the seasons in there.
That's awesome.
So he took a whole year just so he could get every season in the video.
Oh man, we could learn some stuff from these people.
Yeah, so they do a lot. The videos they do are hilarious.
Yeah.
Like when they're promoting a new single or when they were promoting the record, the videos they make for it are hilarious. You'll have to watch it on your own time, but it's
love
funny.
it. And on the film front, all these wonderful people. Mr. G, president and CEO of the Seguin River Monsters, is juiced in with apparently an excellent, amazing independent filmmaker out in L.A. You know, all those dirty hippies out there.
That's where you need to be.
That's where you need to be.
Hang
in the
out
business.
with those people.
All right, here's Lame Made, folks.
Dude, I'm stoked because you're gonna love these.
I'm
these
so full
dudes.
of hot air. All right, let's get it going. Bam.
Sick, huh?
Me likey.
They're badass, and they only get better with their other songs too. So that first record was fucking solid. They had one song I wanted to put on here, but I didn't know if it was appropriate. It was called "The Weed Song."
The weed song.
It's all about smoking weed and stuff.
That's totally fine. Should be legal in Texas.
So I didn't know.
Not that I'm blazing grass, but I'm just.
Oh, I don't smoke weed
from
either.
the legal perspective, it's just jamming up the county.
Yeah, I don't smoke weed either.
I don't even think police want to enforce it anymore. Anyway,
I haven't smoked weed in it's been probably like 6 years now, 7 years. But
well, my hope is to create a concoction of angel dust, psychedelics, and a street drug called ice, and see if I can build up my tolerance with that drug mix just for the sole purpose of becoming a plant on the MLB Rules Committee, because I think that's what they do to be on the MLB Rules Committee. They won't accept you unless you do insane amounts of mind-altering drugs and come up with rules. So then once I'm a plant, then I can stop, get back to the clean lifestyle of eating chicken Caesar salads, but then I'll undo the universal DH rule.
You know what you should do?
Yeah.
Speaking about, you said you had to be on some kind of crazy drugs.
So I don't know. That's what the MLB Rules Committee.
Take a Pepsi and just sprinkle some cocaine in there and some crystal meth and mix it up and have a sip.
That's what I think the MLB Rules Committee does every morning.
Because they're not only jacked up on caffeine from the cola, but they're also jacked up on the
I don't
other
know what they're
bullshit.
doing. I don't know how to get in, undo the universal DH, but
you can't.
Let's roll to the next song. I love it, buddy. All right. Next one is called TV Dinner.
Ooh, this is my favorite song by there. This is my favorite scooped up song.
Do you think the waveform looks good on Audition? Because I think that's right where we
solid,
dude. Right where we need to be with this song.
Someone that may not know what Audition is, like, what's the waveform?
I'm not touching that dial.
It's just how loud or how low something a sound is.
Because in our headphones it was way loud, but when we listen to the record, it's got to be loud
As
here.
Mr. Taylor said, don't listen to the sound, look at the levels, because the levels are going to be the most honest portrayal of how loud or low something is.
All right, TV Dinner is the name of this song. Boom.
When I see you, I think about you changing, then I touch myself. Then your mom walks in, I realize I'm not even at my house. What is going on? She screamed as I tried to zip up my pants. Then my ticket's caught in the zipper, now I'm freaking out. I'm sorry now, but it's too late. I'm sorry now, but it's too late. Don't know why I'm here, but it's pretty clear that
He's like, I touched myself. Your mom walks in. I realize I'm not even at my house.
It's awesome. It's awesome, buddy.
Yeah. They write a lot of cool songs, man. They're great.
I like it. I like it.
It's weird because it's not weird, but it's like they write funny songs, but then they write really cool like actual serious songs.
Yeah.
So like the singer Jimmy, he's really cool, creative. He originally, I think he said he wasn't really, he was like a guitar player kind of. He almost gave it up, but
Don't ever give up.
He started getting into it, I guess, and started playing guitar, and then started writing songs and shit.
And
So-
it's Aunt Cheryl, right?
Yes,
Even if we get down where it's just you, me, and Aunt Cheryl, I'm never gonna give up.
my wife listens to. She's a listener.
Miss Raymond, you're the best.
She's a listener, but yeah, like it's weird because I always feel like sometimes with bands, it's always the people who are like, I almost didn't do it, I almost gave it up, that are always the best writers and shit.
I'll give a few shout outs, see if we got our listeners. To my boys, I think it was, I don't know if Keith's still listening, Willie, Steve Jacobson, our first caller, legendary.
What up, Steve?
And then you got Victor C., my man, Baylor alum there, and then Brian Perkins, if we can ever get to talk to the Seagull of Oracle Park, and he's got some thoughts on the Reds apparently sucking. And who else? We had Dean Nichols, the man, the myth, the legend, and anybody else out there? Our German listener, Guten Tag, mein Freund. Here's number. We're gonna get right into song number 3, called Reruns. Bam. I never know where to cut it because I was jamming. That's like one of my favorite songs. That was so good.
The guitar riff is that opening guitar riff is so badass.
It's like whatever the fair use to the doctrine where if like you're critiquing music, like you're allowed to use a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I don't know where to cut because I'm just like do the songs that jam, but
You just want to listen to the whole thing.
well, I mean, I am reviewing the music and I'm reviewing that it's awesome.
So like these, this song and then the next two ones are all off their upcoming new album, right?
Dude, reruns.
So the new album when it comes out is gonna be fucking sick.
Right?
Based off these next two songs. So this one and the next two are gonna be off their new album.
Scooped up, please, tour San Antonio. You can stay at our house.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they've ever made it this far. But if I was like a millionaire or something or a billionaire, I'd be like, hey, look, here's like $500,000. You want to take a trip? We'll pay you.
Just tour all the way. Just tour as far as San Antonio.
We'll pay for your tour.
Just tour all the way down.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
No, if I was a billionaire, if I had a shit
Mr.
ton of money, I could just throw around.
Mr. Nakatomi might.
But hey, can I have like $1 million?
Mr. Nakatomi loves us.
Dude, can you imagine if you were a band, like a local band somewhere, and like someone from states way over was like, hey, if we pay you want to come here, we'll pay for everything.
I think that's what rich people do.
Yeah, probably. People that put up festivals.
Remember the lawyer Thomas J. Henry? He got like his kids had like quinceañeras and they like hired I don't know who to come down. Famous
it's
people.
unbelievable.
Famous people.
Fucking people with money. Fuck them.
Good for
No,
Thomas
not
J.
really.
Henry. Don't hire me because I don't want a job other than baseball.
I was
but
almost a lawyer too.
I respect what you're doing. Yeah. All right. Next song then, bud.
2 more, yeah.
Dude, you put together already an epic playlist. I love these guys. This one is called Dyslexic.
You're gonna fucking love this one the most, man. You said that Reruns was your favorite. This is gonna be your new favorite.
All
and then when you
right.
hear the last song, that'll be your new favorite.
Dyslexic, scooped up.
I know, I've been here way too long. Got my first look in my mouth, bang my head against the wall. I know, it makes no sense at all. It does when you realize it's all your fault. Another day got thrown away. I'm still in the same place. It's getting harder since you started. Getting so distant. I know. I've been here way too long. Got my first look in my mouth, bang my head against the wall. I know. It makes no sense at all, but it does when you realize it's all your fault. And all that I need is another good reason to wait for it to be in perspective, but I'm too
Awesome. That's so good, buddy.
He was like, to put in perspective, I'm too dyslexic to read the signs you're giving me or something like that.
You listen to stuff at work, like how do you're like so musical that you find all these bands and then you get into the catalog and then you come with just gold.
I know a lot of people in the punk scene, so I discover a lot of bands that way.
Legend.
And so I know like people in bands, so that's how that works. And then they talk about other bands, and it's just like you just get into this giant world.
Just I'm awe-inspired sitting across from Dutch Chattahoochee. I'm just looking at a legend.
Well, punk is my shit. You know, I wouldn't say like I'm a punker, or I'm not. I love punk music a lot, obviously, and I know a lot about it, and it's like my shit. But I wouldn't say I'm in the scene because I'm not really like in a band or anything. I go to shows sometimes, but like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, shows are going to be crazy fun. You can find when we go.
I'm going to a show next month.
Banger
actually.
heads. What show's that?
The Story So Far.
Are they awesome?
Fuck yeah.
We're going to review them like next week.
We can if you want.
And then me and Elle can get a babysitter and go out for date night and bang our heads.
At a fucking show.
Just thrash.
My wife actually has gone to a few MXPX shows with me.
Sounds awesome. The legend, S.J. Raymond.
One and only.
You want to plug your comic? Remember we tried to do that and you're like, we blew past it?
Oh, that was like the first episode.
She's like, what, you're not going to plug my comic? What?
Yeah. So if you want, like, I'm trying to find the webtoons. Like, you can go to type in Constellation Chronicles. And the other one is called, like, Madre or whatever. And I
Yeah.
don't know how to spell it.
But
if you go to, like, yeah.
told there would be no
Here.
math or spelling.
Here, because I'm trying to pull up an actual, like, website, like, an actual link name. 'Cause I know what it's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, anyway, like, I used to have the thing on my phone. I thought I still did, but I guess it got deleted somehow.
You work on that. I'm going to go for song number 5 on Scooped Up. This one's called Best Days. Best Days, Scooped Up. Loving it.
Going nowhere, don't know what to think. Got everyone telling me how to live. They say I should get in line, work real hard until I'm 65. But at that rate, I don't think I survive. These are the best days of your life, they say. These are the best days of your life, they say. These are the best days of my life. I guess one day I'll learn to compromise. Stupid kid going nowhere, what's the point of it? You're still wasting my time. Say you wanna do big things, talk is cheap, you get spent easily. You're wasting all your time. These are the best days of your life, they say. These are the best days of...
Nice. The best days. Scooped Up. I hope they make that tour to San Antone. There's country songs you ever think about, San Antonio?
You ever come down to? Some people call this. I've heard some people call San Antonio the Tone.
I call it the Tone sometimes.
I've never heard of that until someone
Sometimes
said
I call it the Ant. Is it Antonio?
I just call it San Antone, man.
San Antonio.
Where you live at now, boy? I live in San Antone.
San Antonio. I tell you, it is a fine town. I love it here. And we got the Seguin River Monsters. Went out to Seguin yesterday. Saw some old friends. It was real good. And then sealed the deal. Got the River Monsters. I don't know what else to tell you, bud. We got a lot of good college baseball coming up. It's getting down to crunch time, too, because we're going to get, have to get some coverage on the college postseason and all that's leading to the road to Omaha. That is some fun times for baseball. And hopefully Kyle Schwarber can seek the psychological help that I need. He doesn't need it. He was completely right, but he melted down on an angel.
I'll get the link to their website and we'll put it in the description.
Okay, that sounds good.
Some of these like the words I'm trying to pronounce, I can't fucking pronounce for shit.
That is. Oh, here's one thing I want to do if we ever get the tech figured out to do our play-by-play. I realized. So besides repeatedly going to the flea market this weekend, we were laying on the couch. Kids playing like Miss Pac-Man or something because we're terrible parents. And I think Teddy was taking a nap. So we're like taking this like parental break. And I turned on English Premier League because I was like, I'm still booked. I could have picked Major League Baseball, but I chose not to because I'm essentially against the adult rec league. So I put it on and I realized because I got some books, the dream to be the play-by-play on, properly getting players' names right, come prepared, get your stuff ready. But the vocabulary used by Premier League announcers is awesome. So I got to use words better than awesome. I got to come up with magnificent, splendid. I think I'm going to prep some of my announcing with just reviewing Premier League soccer so I can up my vocab for the ball game. I just have like a list of superlatives that I can throw in. I do want it to be silky poetry when we're calling a River Monsters game. So that was my one thought. And we got some nice outro. We made it to 142. No callers. Definitely worst tech day we've ever had.
So sorry. My voice cracked because I'm only 13. I'm hitting puberty finally.
Pubes again.
So like, if they want to go to like, what do you call it? If they want to find my wife's comic, they can go to Webtoons.
Yeah.
And you can type in Majore or you can type in the Constellation Chronicles.
I like it.
And those two will pop up. So I would say go check it out. They're really great. My wife's like a writer, and then her friend Emmy, who lives in Australia, she's like the drawer. Like she draws.
Go to SeguinRiverMonsters.com, please.
So like I've seen my wife sometimes she does like these coloring things where she colors the photos and stuff.
Yeah.
And it looks like a lot of fucking work. But yeah, so I would go to webtoons.com and then type in those two titles that I just mentioned, and they'll pop up, and bam.
Nice. Got.
Hopefully, I didn't talk too fast or mumble enough when I was saying those.
It's fine. People can check us out.
We'll put the link in the description in case they didn't understand me because I have trouble speaking.
Because we'll tweet. I still suck at Instagram. I don't really understand
so
it.
But what I'm gonna do is
YouTube.
I'm gonna start a 3BGB Twitter account and then start a Instagram. So that way.
Everything. We
have more social media platforms, and we'll link out the podcast, and we'll send the link out for her and her friend's comic too.
Yeah.
But like, be a supporter of that, and if you don't, then you don't support 3BGB either. So get out of our lives.
Yeah, gotta support local baseball. That's what I see the River Monsters doing, and we are super duper psyched. I can't overstate it. It would be impossible. It would be impossible to overstate how psyched we are. I think that's going to be a blast, and I think it's going to be some good baseball. And if anything we could do to get the players in the city of Seguin and everybody else excited about college baseball players out there busting their butt, we're here to support that. And, Seguin, it's a cool town. I think it's flying under the radar, frankly, around here. But what else? I got nothing else, buddy. Robo Umps. I'm saying it's got to look like the Jetsons.
You dropped your mic off your stand.
I know. I'll just screw that back in. I don't know why it's getting so unscrewed.
Here in May. What is it right now? April? In May, I'm gonna be gone for 2 weeks because I'm going to Oklahoma. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the second week, I think, or third week that I'm leaving. It's the week after finals.
So when's May? Because I need to travel too, especially before the season.
Yeah, I have it on my. Let me pull up my little handy dandy airplane app, and it has the.
Well, actually, don't tell anybody. OPSEC, bro. Somebody's going to break into the Raymond household. You're not going anywhere, ever. In fact, you're going to be waiting inside your house with one of those shotguns that Schwarzenegger or whoever those have in those Predator movies. That's just like a machine gun, but it's shotgun shells. Don't you have one of those? You're going to be waiting inside your house the entire time. Nobody's leaving their house ever. Just for operational security reasons to any thieves listening to this podcast. But yeah, perhaps May. We'll figure it out, bud. What people also don't realize that you would see if we could ever figure out live streaming was during the music segments, I consumed.
I thought you were gonna fucking hurt yourself, buddy.
An entire old-fashioned donut. But nobody could see
while
that.
You were moving around.
While I was rocking out.
Moving around.
Eating that. But you couldn't hear really the bad sound. Maybe you can. I don't know. We don't know until we edit it down.
Once we get the video, they're going to be like, whoa, they're going to watch this way more.
Oh, my gosh.
You ever notice when I talk, I'll be talking and I'll just get like, well, do that.
And you know what the sad part? It's not.
About
I guess.
that?
Well, no, about the whole tech thing is there's somewhere, like I can't get other people's knowledge into my brain. So, like, we have to do this. We have to suffer so we can figure out all our equipment. But somewhere in the world, there's like a 12-year-old kid who's streaming video games who literally could solve all of our problems in 5 seconds. He's like, oh, yeah, all you got to do is click on this thing and then just drop down here and select that, and that works. That's how easy it's going to be.
Like, my father, he wouldn't show me, so I had to learn it myself. I figured it out. It's really not hard.
Unbelievable.
I'm like, dude, like, I'm not old, but like technology is way different now from when I was 12. When I was 12, we didn't have live streams and all that. I think there might have been a thing. I think maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Another thing about the
I'm 16.
Jose Gutierrez just keeps ripping a dinger.
On the homepage,
to like right center.
The video?
Yeah, on the homepage.
You got what do you call it? Over under on how many home runs he'll hit in the in the league?
Dude looks like an athlete. And
can I put a number on home runs?
Yeah,
27.
27.
I think he'll hit 27 this year in summer league.
I like it. I like his swing.
He's got a nice swing. I like how the bat kind of like after he hits it kind of goes up a little.
Yeah, I mean that's like the perfect.
He's like driving that ball
now.
Yeah,
and he doesn't get too far out in front of himself. Good balance. I like it, Jose Gutierrez. But Seguin, of course, in the top of the standings, even though it was 0-0. Then Baton Rouge, Victoria, Brazos Valley, and Acadiana. That's the 5 teams in the legendary Texas Collegiate League this year. It's going to be good times. Good times. Oh, and
I was thinking, I was
got an extra bedroom. Host families needed.
I was telling my wife this last night. I was like, if there's a game happening and I have to work that night, looks like I'll be calling in because that's more important right now than going to work.
I don't know. We'll have to figure out your work schedule and figure out my schedule with the kids because
with summer coming up, it'll be like my schedule will be different than it is now. But sometimes when I'm out of school, they're like, well, they won't give me 2 days in a row, so it'll be whacked.
We just both need to get jobs at like Jiffy Lube, changing oil from from about 6 a.m., get there, get everything set up, turned on, change oil till about noon, go get some barbecue station, and then we're free for River Monster games.
Those jobs always seem cool, the people that work at Jiffy Lube and stuff.
I've worked at Jiffy Lube. You know what the one thing about working at Jiffy Lube that's kind of funny?
What's that?
People always are like, they're like, oh, dude, they're going to get my car in there and they're just not going to change my oil and charge me for it. You know, they think we're going to like somehow rip off. It's like, dude, you do not understand how boring that job is. There's no way you would ever fake not changing oil. I don't know if somebody actually does that, but there's nothing else to do but change people's oil.
So what do you do there? That's what you did.
Put
here,
on
is
wipers. Yeah, you just
your
drop the
oil
oil.
changer?
Yeah, you drop the oil. There's a dude underneath. I mean, you can run down and go underneath, but usually there's like some dude down in the pit, and then you're going to just drop the nut off the oil pan there into this drain thing that's super easy that catches it, and then you screw that back up, recharge it with whatever oil they selected, and then you check all the fluids, grease all the joints, put on some new wipers if they got that, air up them tires, and they're out. It's kind of a cool job if you like working on cars, but you don't know shit about cars, because I don't really know shit about cars, but I can change oil.
I don't either. I just know this is the gas and this is the brake.
The biggest thing that can happen to you, though, that's like destroy an engine if you don't put on the filter right. So you got to make sure you put on the filter, because if that thing drops off, then the engine loses oil and it'll explode. Next thing you know, Jiffy Lube's paying for an engine.
So right now, while we're talking, I'm actually setting up the 3BGB Twitter account, so we'll be able to tweet specifically from this.
Can we both log into it?
I don't know.
I don't know how it goes.
We should be able to. I mean, I had to choose a birthday, so I just went with mine. But
I have like 4 Twitter accounts. One is the TXST Tony Turnstile account, and then I have like some other ones that I follow, like crypto stuff on. But then I have my MLB Rules Committee, where if I do enough insane drugs, I'll come up with a new rule. And
hold on, it said that they sent, so like, yeah. You have a lot of emails, dude. Every time I get on any kind of service on your phone or your computer, it's like 6 logins. I'm like, how the fuck, dude? How many do you need?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's ridiculous.
I fucking, yeah.
All right, bud, I'm ready for some outro action. I'm just going to fade it in there. See if I can get this one down. Get this one back up. Let's fade it up. And then fade it back out. All right, buddy. Till next time. Are you playing golf with Mr. Nakatomi on Thursday?
No, we're actually playing pool.
Oh, okay. I think I'm doing 9 holes with him at 10 a.m. But from the 4th floor of the Nakatomi Towers, it's 3BGB signing out. Go River Monsters.
Get him Seguin. Ooh, that should be the quote. Get him Seguin. You feel me?
Oh, yeah. There we go. Let's get that up. Till next time, folks. Thanks, Dutch. You're awesome, bud.
Doing it for the team, buddy. Doing it for the team.